Everybody, welcome back. It's me. I'm your host. My name's Dan, and today we're going to be looking at the second chapter of Akira as it was serialized in Young Magazine. So, to correct an error in the last video, this would be January 1983. This would have come out because the first installment was in the last issue of 1982. So I'm going to just use the Dark Horse version for this video. I'll probably hop around between different versions because page count is pretty similar or pretty much identical, so I can use them. So that picture we were just looking at of a moody Canada with a lot of blue, that one was printed as a glossy in the original Young magazine. So what we were just looking at looks pretty close to the original. So let me get to where this chapter begins. So we skip ahead to the next day. We're at the school where Kaneda, Yamagata, and Kai, I believe, where they go to school. They're all in trouble because of something. Tetsuo is still in the hospital. We see like the little kind of R gang lineup of the kids. And they bring in the gym teacher. Gym teacher whacks the crap out of the kids, further reinforcing, how this is kind of, this is very post-apocalyptic. And, so we have some speed lines, not the last speed lines we'll be seeing. Kind of an interesting reversal of direction between these two panels. Like, his fist is coming, his fist presumably would impact coming at this angle. And then in the next panel, we have it coming from the opposite direction. And I think that kind of cutting, like in comics, it's very useful to make the, to make the thing make sense. And, he's just changing it up every single shot. We got this very odd shot of like a head going to the ground. There's not much attempt to convey motion, if there is supposed to be motion. Just an odd angle, but it makes it very dynamic. And yeah, so these kids, they don't have parents. They're kind of roughing it. And we get a rare little bit of humor in this series. The disciplinarian gym teacher is kind of whooshing his hair back like Big Boy. If you want to hear more about Big Boy, look at our last upload. Hey, kitty! No, don't eat that. Hey, everybody! It's Fritz the cat. He might guest host an episode soon whenever I figure out how to get him to speak English. And we got a lot of dialogue. Another great establishing shot. I don't know what building this. Well, I guess this is the building right here. That would be the exterior of this building, I guess. And yeah, so we have kind of like in the beginning of the story, big, super wide, picture of the Earth practically shot, and then we zoom in a little bit, zoom in a little further, and then we see the character we're going to follow for a little bit. And this is the first appearance of Kay, who is going to be our female lead in this story. You're going to be hearing a lot more about her. And this is the first time we see the Haruki bar, So the Dark Horse version I'm using, this is flipped. It's I'm pretty sure it's based off of the black and white proofs that Kodansha sent to Marvel, because the sound effects look pretty similar, and I'm pretty sure the redrawn bits are redrawn the same way. Uh, but obviously, like, we don't have the color. And man, that is the most punk rock looking entrance to a bar. And our protagonist walks in. He kind of looks like a young hoodlum, because he kind of is. Nobody can find Tetsuo. They're all taking these little pills that I presume are amphetamines. I don't know if anybody really knows what the pills are, but they're we do know that they're good for health but bad for education, according to some of the promotional stuff for this. That phrase never actually appears in the book. Fun fact. But and we have Kay meets our other protagonists. Within about 40 pages, we've established a lot of the relationships that are going to carry through the entire book. And he does a really good job of just getting to the point. And, it feels very kinetic. There's stuff going on every page. And that makes it move quickly, which I think when a book is more than 2,000 pages, that's important. And this is our kind of money shot introduction of Kay. I don't know how many women are left in this world, because most of the groups of men we see are kind of wild horn dogs. And yeah, so she meets with her older contact in kind of paramilitary resistance against the government. We get the sense that the government is not really that strong, because there's just kind of like terrorists running around left and right, and eventually they're overtaken by the military. It's just sort of like whatever was cobbled together 29 years after a giant near atomic strike. And whoa, that is a wild panel. That is like, I don't know if that's a zipatone pattern kind of laid over itself, or like if he did that all with pen. But take a second and just look at that. Oh my god. So he's chasing after her because he wants to get to know her, because she's a pretty lady. And we see the kid we saw near the road. And Ryu knows that he's number 15. Not number 15, he's number... I forget what number he is, but Ryu knows why this kid's important. And then Kaneda finds him, and he says he's gonna beat him up to get even for what he did to Tetsuo on the bike on the road last episode. If you want to hear about that, look at our prior episode, or read the book, or do both. So here's the final page of the second installment, and this is structured. He hasn't quite figured out how to structure these bi-weekly cliffhangers yet. Most of the later ones are going to have like 3 rows of panels with pretty big chunky panels. This kind of breaks that up, and usually there's like a big panoramic kind of cinematic shot at the end. This one, he breaks it up into 3 things, and it's a little less dynamic of an ending than a lot of the ones he would come up later. We have Yamagata in an action pose, and they're about to beat up the little dude, this little guy, and shriveled old man, little dude. The Espers are what they're called in this book, and yeah, it looks like the street gang's about to beat this guy up, and that's we're gonna leave it for today because well, that's where chapter 2 ends. So let's go back, take a look at some a little bit of technical stuff. Now that we've got the plot summary out of the way, is there anything else I wanted to talk about with this? Um, just more great urban decay. Such an odd shot, just like the guy. We don't see the impact. We just see the guy laying in garbage, and we know why. And it's so like that kind of looks like heavy metal Mobius kind of stuff. There's like it's clear that Mobius had a big influence or a big impact on Otomo, but it's not like everywhere, but every once in a while you get like a panel where it's like this feels very like European art comic album, you know? And yeah, so more about all this later, I guess. Oops, spoiler. So not a lot happens in that chapter. Uh, I'm just gonna cut it off. Uh, this show is brought to you by the stuff that I sell. I got books, comics, records, CDs, tapes, uh, VHS, DVD, Blu-ray. I got a few video games. I'm getting more. Come by sometime. Silver Factory Books and Records in sunny, scenic Ballston Spa. And I'll see you in the funny pages.